Shalom again, everybody. Ariel Tzadok here from the KosherTorah School, found online at www.KosherTorah.com, bringing to you today's daily lesson in the Sefer Yetzirah. Today is lesson 77, and we dedicate these classes, of course, to the safety, health, well-being, prosperity, protection, goodwill, and good things for everybody out there in the world. Remember, whatever there is, we can change it. That is the great secret and the power of this text. Remember this. We've discussed this over and over again, and I gotta say it again and again to reinforce it so you will put it into practice. The Sefer Yetzirah is not a book about philosophy. It is not a book about theory. It is a book about practice. Now, we are in this lesson now going to conclude chapter 4, our discussion of the 7 double letters. Now, I confess, in the numerous times classes that we have had together, I have revealed to you a lot of stuff that even if you go look at Sefer Yetzirah commentaries in Hebrew, you're going to find that I've taught you a lot more and revealed to you a lot more than you're going to find in almost all the books. I've given to you stuff from Abulafia, the magical traditions, the theoretical traditions, the meditative traditions, the prophetic traditions. I give you a lot. But I'm going to confess, as much as I give, I also have to hold back. And the reason for that is not because of any kind of stupid nonsense like one's not worthy or it shouldn't be made public. Let's forget all that nonsense, okay? We're all, in quote, worthy, not worthy. You know what? There's not a human being on the earth who doesn't have some kind of, as they say in Yiddish, shtick, some kind of problem. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. And I'm going to give you a real profound secret here. My name is God. All right? What we call God is the Creator. It is a collective mind that understands and knows everything. Right? We yell and scream today about issues of privacy. There's no such privacy above. Everything's revealed. And anyone who deals with psychic, telepathic, real essential powers of the mind knows this very well. Now, all of our Sefer Yetzirah is about is to get us, if you will, to spiritually mature, to become a true human adult, which is to expand consciousness, integrate, become aware of the higher dimensional realities in which higher parts of ourselves already are existing, inhabiting, and whatever. We're just in that little itsy bitsy part of our brains here, that part we call, this is what we call the nephesh, soul, the consciousness in the physical body, which, using the metaphor of Plato, we're kind of like, in the corner of a cave, looking into the corner, not turning around, seeing the rest of the world. Sefer Yetzirah is here to teach us the rest of the world. No, this is the big secret. You see, I can't give it to you. No teacher on earth, no teacher who's ever lived of flesh and blood is supposed to give it to you. You don't have entitlements. That entitlement mentality, leave it into the political discussion arena there, okay? But in the spiritual domain, you have to earn this stuff. You have to grow up. You have to mature. And therefore, I can't give everything to you, as they say, on a silver platter. You have to reach out and grab it. You have to take the sweet fruit of the tree of life and pull it down, eat it, chew it, digest it, and savor the moment. My metaphor is, you got to do the work. So, in our previous few classes, I was showing you specific techniques of application, how to use the Sefer Yetzirah for what purposes? No magic. Forget the magic, right? Too many movies, too many TV shows, right? No magic. But the power, the real power of the mind. What we are on the verge of today, globally, believe it or not, is a psychic renaissance. a revolution of mind. There are powers at play right now around the world. You just look at current events, you see what's happening. You see the chaos. You see the confusion. You see many of the old patterns falling away. This is an opportunity because we now have the time and the ability, as opposed to looking out there, to look in here. And you might say, yeah, well, they don't want us looking and watching what they are doing. You know what? I don't worry about them. I don't care what they are doing. I don't care if there really is, and of course there isn't, an Illuminati, a conspiracy of people trying to get you. Who cares? What, the paranoia out there is crazy. But for those of you who want to embrace or fear these kinds of things, I'm going to give you the power what to do about it. No, the power doesn't come from the barrel of a gun. It doesn't come from the edge of a knife. It even doesn't come from protesting harsh words or anything of the kind. The power comes from you. When you emancipate yourselves, plural, and stop being separate, little children, and we all grow up together to become psychic adults. This technique, all right, the final one in this chapter, it's a real simple one. Actually, there's nothing really Kabbalistic about it. I put out a worksheet on it for lesson 77. And really what this is, high school algebra. Factorials. Really, factorials. You don't know what a factorial is? Go back to your high school math class. Okay? I want to read to you now the final Mishnah of chapter 4. It's Mishnah 16. And it should make common sense. But let's just read it. And once that's there, I want to tell you how to use this as a meditative tool, which is exactly what our little worksheet's about. So, chapter 4 concludes with this Mishnah, these words. Shnei avanim bonim shnei batim. 2 stones will build 2 houses. Shalosh avanim bonot shesha batim. 3 stones will build 6 houses. Arba avanim bonot arba'a ve'esri batim. 4 stones will build 24 houses. 5 stones will build 120 houses. 6 stones will build 720 houses. 7 stones will build 5,040 houses. Mekande ilach, and from here and beyond, seva chashuv, go forth and contemplate. Mash'ena peyachol ledaber, that which the mouth is not able to speak and the ear is not able to hear. With those words, we conclude the chapter. All we had was a math lesson, right? That's what we call the factorial. A factorial, represented in math by the letter in English and with an exclamation point, tells us a number, which is the sum of all previous numbers multiplied by one another. So, if I have 1, what's 1 times 1? 1. 1 times 2, 2. 1 times 2 times 3, 6. 1 times 2 times 3 times 4, 6 times 4, 24. 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5, 120. Go through the math. That's what it means when it says that the stones build houses. What are houses? Houses are a vessel in which you live. What does that mean here? Why does it use the word house? All right? You could say it's in batim. Forget that. Understand the symbol. All combinations. Now, in my example here, I used numbers as opposed to letters. Here are the letters. Aleph. And then I said Aleph Mem, and then Aleph Dalet Mem for Adam. So you have here 1 letter, 2 letters, you have 2 different forms. 3 letters, you have 6 different forms. Here, as you can see, I used numbers instead. You got 24 forms. Now, I followed out the factorials. Yeah, I went online, I just used it. If we wanted to count the factorial of 10, you could have a number of 3,628,800 houses. Now, what would happen if we took all 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet? That's a factorial of 22. 22 times 21 times 20 times 19 times 18 times 17, going on and on, okay? You know what number you get? Talking about here, a number so big, I wonder if this could have been a number calculated before the days of computers. This is the number, 22 factorial. We take all 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet and combine it in each and every way. We would have a number of letters, or numbers, I guess, 1 sextillion, 124 quintillion, 727 trillion, 777 billion, 607,680,000. Okay, that's a pretty big number. But remember what we say. God's name, all right, what we call God's name, is a combination of all the letters combined. So God's name is all 22 letters and all possible potential combinations. So God's true name, Yud Ke Vav Ke, that's the simple, that's the most external form of the name. The real name has 1 sextillion, 124 quintillion letters to it. How long would it take to recite such a thing? If we could recite 1 letter, all right, per second, somebody out there, you go do the math and find out how long it is. Now, you want something even more profound? According to the Kabbalah and even modern science, remember we said everything that we know our universe is only from what we could see. It's about 5%. And then there's the dark matter world and the dark energy world all around us. We spoke about these other domains of Asiya. We talked about it in our class yesterday. Well, symbolically speaking, I'm not so sure it's symbolic. The Kabbalah teaches that there aren't just the 22 letters that we see in the Hebrew. Those are what they call black fire. But around them are also 22 forms, maybe energies, I don't know, of called white fire, which is like the symbolized by the white spaces around the black letters. And it says that it forms a comprehensively separate alphabet of 22. So you have 22 white letters, 22 black letters, together 44 gematria, Dam, the bloodline of all that. And if that is indeed so, then Hashem, God's name, would include that. And that would give us a number. Gosh, I couldn't even write here. I have it all written out there on the sheet. It's a number which is 2 septendecillion long. I wouldn't even know how to read it. Wow. Think about this. Everything that we have today is such a profound revelation and insight. Can you imagine if we passed these numbers on to the actual author of the Sefer Yetzirah? They would know the words that we use to give numbers. Septicillion, sextillion. They didn't even have words like that. They never counted that high. And here we are today with ways and means of machines. You know, it's a very interesting prediction from the Zohar. All right? Doesn't matter who wrote it. Doesn't matter when it was written. But it does say that from the Hebrew year 5600, which is ballpark around the 1840s, it said the gates of wisdom from below and above would be open to prepare the way for the new age. The gates of above is a renaissance of spiritual teachings. You'll see from around the 1840s or so, teachings from the Orient, from the left, from the right, all started coming out into the mainstream. And technology started to develop. Modern technology. Granted, ever since World War II passed, right? The explosion of technology has been something profound. It's prophetic. Now, with this being said, we should use all of these things in complement with the old biblical prophetic stuff to expand the mind and consciousness. This is the great secret. Factorials are a profound exercise. How? They help you to think and make associations. Here, just in the word here, Adam. The 6 permutations. The next word could be Ahmad. All right. I could say Omed. Well, that's not really the way it's spelled in Hebrew. Yeah, but there's a form of gematria where letters that sound alike are interchangeable with one another. Dama, Da'im. Me'od. Very much so. All right. Midah. And I can go into all things. I could add a 4th letter, which could be the letter Hey, and get the word Adama, which would mean earth. And it's related to Adam, man, related also to the color Edom, red. So here, I will make my one political statement. For those who ever want to know what the original Adamic race was, it wasn't white, it wasn't black. The Bible is very clear. Adam, Edom, it's red. Tell that, to the Native Americans and others. That is the indigenous, natural, original color of the Adamic species. With that being said, you can use all kinds of combinations, of numbers or letters. And it doesn't matter what language. You can do this in any language, with any combination, and look for associations. For example, whenever I am out and about, I look at license plates. I look at numbers. If I'm in the store and I have to pay, whatever the accounting is, I look for significance in the amounts. The other day I was in the store and I made a purchase for $26.32. 26 is Yud Ke Vav Ke. 32 is Lev. Immediately my mind starts to flow. All right? And I could start putting letters and numbers and numbers and letters. This is what the Ba'al Shem Tov, the founder of the Hasidic movement, called doing what we call yihudim, spiritual unification exercises in every and all language. The word yihud, all right? Again, people look at the Yihudim and the teachings of the Ariel and the Rashash as specific ritual formulas that individual rabbis have written. It's far more than that. A yihud is any time that your mind makes a contact and a connection with the higher spiritual reality that allows your mind to start flowing. Our minds today are too rigid, too narrow. We have this mentality pervasive today of division, of strife, of anger and hatred and separation. That's got to stop. That's the enemy. There is no enemy out there who will ever be defined by the color of its skin, hair, or eyes, nationality, language, political or philosophical philosophy or religion. That's never the definition of an enemy. Enemy is the mentality of division and strife. That must always be rooted out. You do factorials, you do permutations like this, and you will start to see from one language to the next how things are always connected and interconnected, and it helps break down these walls of division, which are the greatest lies of them all. In the Torah, Kabbalah tradition, we call these klipot, husks and shells. In the Hindu tradition, they call it maya, an illusion. And there's nothing of a greater lie than this concept of division. So the whole Sefer Yetzirah, remember, is to show us yesh me yesh, something from something, and how it is all combined. We are here to develop the powers of the mind. Telepathy, ESP, remote viewing, psychokinesis. All of these things are real, they are normal, they are natural, and you darn well know at one time in your life you've had an experience with it in spite of your denials. It's time for childhood's end and for humanity's adulthood to come. That is how, and the best way for us to conclude this chapter 4. Take the factorials and work with them as a meditative technique to expand your minds. We'll continue chapter 5 and 6. God bless. We'll conclude the class. Ariel Tzadok, KosherTorah.com. Check out our courses online. I'll see you all soon. Shalom.